Belief system is a set of beliefs that a person holds regarding their personal and social life and their view of society and the world. Cultural and ethnic and racial background influences decisions you make as a practitioner and as a person. Ethnically and racially, I am white, Caucasian, and culturally, I'm influenced by deep Southern roots and Irish traditions from previous generations. For example, we eat a lot of traditional Irish foods, and we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, listen to traditional Irish music, celebrate Christmas, including Irish traditions, and the men in my family dress in traditional um, Irish clothing, like kilts and things like that, just for family events. And for my southern roots, we have, or southern, like, cultural kind of roots, we have big families on my mom's side, lots of kids, lots of grandkids. Everyone lives close to home. We all live close together to be there for each other. We have big Christmases and attend church on Christmas because we have Christian roots and we were all raised in a Christian background. My gender and sexual orientation, I am a heterosexual female. Pronouns are she and her. Gender and sexuality was not like a neutral topic in my house. It wasn't something that was really addressed growing up. So I was raised like typical girly stereotype. My socioeconomic class, I grew up in the lower middle class. Looking at aspects like healthcare, education, childcare. We always afforded exceptional healthcare because of my parents' employment. And then growing up, I always lived in lower quality housing, but in good quality areas with lower crime rate and good school systems. I did get a public education, but I had access to a very good school system. And I grew up with peers of very similar socioeconomic class, and I was raised Christian, and I celebrate traditional Christian holidays. My immediate family is less religious, while my extended family is very deep in faith. I did not attend religious gatherings like church typically such as a kid, but here and there I did. And then growing up and more recently I have learned and educated myself broadly on different religions such as Catholicism, Islam, Judaism, and atheism. Right now I'm in my early adulthood. I'm 20 years old. I'm in college. As an athlete, I live independently, but I'm still somewhat supported by family. And I'm reaching goals that I've set for myself so far in life with minor setbacks, and I've never really experienced a major setback before. My family has, on my dad's side of the family, we have a history of alcoholism, so for the most part, that is how they all cope, and how I'm influenced by my family to cope. And avoidance of problems. On my mom's side, family plays a huge part in all of our lives, but we've all been taught tough love and to hide your emotions and don't show weakness, and kind of do what you have to do in order to get what you need, what has to be done, like to whatever means it takes. And also, a big thing that we were taught growing up is that everything happens for a reason. So if you don't understand something that's going on in your life right now, to let it, put it in God's hands and let it play out. In terms of influence of stress and self-understanding, I don't often take time for myself, which causes me to really experience burnout, especially like in my first year of college during COVID, like burnout was real and I couldn't like sit in my room anymore, and I like really was close to like giving up. And so I do experience burnout really easily, and I understand that now after that experience. So I do need to take time for myself, which I can do things like talking to friends, watching TV, reading, working out, playing lacrosse. And then some good character traits I think I have that help me with self understanding is that I've been told I'm very easy to talk to and that I am an active listener. I try my best not to be judgmental. I know everyone has biases that they can't control, but I try to understand my personal biases before entering a possible situation to do my best to hear it from all different sides and understand everyone's perspective. Physically, I am able-bodied, but I grew up surrounded by disabled individuals of all different severities, so I'm very comfortable with that like topic and that conversation and telling people what I know just to educate and also educating myself furthermore. Conflicting views. I don't have like any like big views that are conflicting with the National Association of Social Workers, but reading through like their definitions of certain views, I did disagree, I did disagree with a couple sentences, but that's when I looked at myself and kind of understood where I need to understand those differences and see what I could do to change it or to better understand. And so the first one was that social workers understand that relationships between people are important vehicles for change. I'm very introverted and I was taught tough love and to bottle up my emotions. So getting through hard times by myself is something that I've always done. So I don't completely understand the idea of needing those relationships. And then also service social workers are encouraged to volunteer a portion of their time with no expectations of financial return. I don't disagree with that, but volunteering was not a value that I was like really taught growing up, and I'm changing now that I'm at school and on my own, and it started as a required thing, but now I'm stepping out of my comfort zone to try to like learn new things and understand, do what I can to help other people. And then views that I do really agree with was that social workers pursue social change, particularly with those on behalf of vulnerable and oppressed individuals and groups of people. I really believe in advocating for those who can't advocate for themselves, people who can't, speak for themselves or can't with like cognitive disability where they can't, think for themselves like that. Like, I think it's really important to stand up for anyone that's oppressed, but especially that group of people I'm really passionate about. And then integrity, social workers are continually aware of their profession's mission, values, ethical principles, ethical standards, and practice in a manner consistent with them. I was taught respect my whole life, and I really believe in respect and like morals and values and knowing clearly like what you think is okay and what's not okay. Some views I think that are going to be helpful with my practice would be my views about equality and equity, or equality and, equity. Like I said about like advocating for those who can't advocate for themselves, and also like all other walks of life. And then I'm also removing the stigma around mental health because coming to college, I've seen like so many of my friends, people close to me, even myself, struggle with mental health, and removing the stigma around that and letting it be a casual conversation for everyone to have is something that is really, really important to me. So, and then some challenges that I think that I might have is that I do believe in putting some things in God's hands and that everything happens for a reason, and, everything can't be explained. And I understand that there's terrible things that happen in the world that can't be explained, um, but I also, me personally, believe that some things, some bad leads to good. So, and in my future practice, I see myself doing social work in hospitals, and advocate and work for my clients, my individuals, and also take time for myself to avoid burnout and to educate. And furthermore, I would like to educate myself on religions and gender and sexuality influences so I can best assist my clients while I'm a practitioner.